Nestled between Atlantic and Pacific shores, the Republic of Colombia rubs shoulders with Ecuador, Peru, Venezuela, and Brazil, and welcomes Central America through the Isthmus of Panama. 3 Andean cordilleras, or mountain ranges, run the entire length of the country, and most of the population resides in the interior Andean region. The wettest inhabitable place on Earth is Buenaventura, Colombia. The highlands are home to Bogota, the capital, and Medellin, while the fertile farmlands of Cali to the south conceal some of the world's richest mineral deposits, including gold and minerals. Coffee and banana and sugarcane plantations are plentiful. Cattle ranches abound, and of course, the infamous coca plant is cultivated widely. Many annual festivals, such as the Feria de los Flores, the Festival of the Flower, which takes place in Medellin, brighten the lives of a hard-working people. The nation's older architecture reflects its 17th century Spanish colonial origins with regional hints of Moorish and Castilian evident. Yet the skyline is transforming as modern buildings boasting an international flavor emerge. At the heart of it all is an extraordinary culture of food. Most families prepare and consume elaborate meals, a hearty breakfast of pork, rice and beans, steak with egg, and sweet plantains. A substantial midday meal featuring rice and coconut, fried plantains, and shrimp. A lighter dinner including a variety of seafood. Colombia is known for flavorful specialty dishes such as ajiaco, a stew of 3 types of potatoes, chicken and corn, coffee and beer, and aguardiente, a local rum and corn sugar brandy, are favorites. Whatever the ingredients, presentation always matters, not just in cuisine, but in every aspect of life. Bienvenidos a Colombia. Welcome to Dine Out Sabor.
The California Health Collaborative is committed to enhancing the quality of life and health for the people of California. The collaborative implements an array of programs focused on health promotion, disease prevention, and public health surveillance systems. The California Health Collaborative, building partnerships, promoting wellness, and changing lives.
The law offices of Philip M. Flanagan, specializing in providing guidance and direction in the areas of estate planning, elder law, probate, trust management, and life care planning. Proud supporter of Dine Out Sabor. Visit our website or call for more information.
Murata Produce is a proud supporter of local businesses, a family-owned grower, packer, and shipper of cherries, walnuts, onions, and bell peppers. Murata Produce is headquartered in the fertile San Joaquin Valley. Owned by the Fopiana family, their farming traditions date back to the California Gold Rush. Murata Produce proudly supports Dine Out Sabor.
Hi, I'm Ray Ocanto.
And I'm Jennifer Whitney.
Hey Jenny, have you ever been to Colombia?
I haven't. Have you?
I haven't. I'm South American, but I hear it's this fascinating country. And today on Dine Out Sabor, we're going to explore this unique restaurant called Leila's, where the chef is doing some creative things with American bistro food and a little Colombian flavor. Can't talk about Colombia without talking about its great art form of salsa dancing.
Salsa, we're gonna salsa.
Yeah.
So we'll be able to take you to Colombia without you having to leave your own backyard right here in the Central Valley.
I'm in the kitchen with one of my favorite chefs in the entire San Joaquin Valley, who's making the most creative food that you'll ever experience. Colombian, American bistro fusion, Manny Carr. Manny, welcome.
Hi, nice to meet you, Ray.
Yeah, good to see you.
Nice to see you, too.
Now tell me, I mean, where does the inspiration come from, Leila's, this delicious Colombian-inspired food?
Well, Leila's is inspired by my grandmother, and actually the restaurant is named after my grandmother. I couldn't pronounce her name, it was Lilia, but I called her Leila since I had problems, I guess, when I was a little kid speaking. So she was my first inspiration, going there, having her teaching me and cooking me soft-boiled eggs as a little kid, really kind of got me inspired, I guess, subconsciously.
How would you describe your cuisine? Because, I tell everybody you've got a Colombian twist on American bistro food, and really, it's stuff you see in San Francisco and Los Angeles, but you're doing some of the most creative things in the Valley when it comes to food.
I'm just influenced by so many different things. I love Asian food, I love Mexican food, I love Colombian food, so for me, and I love American food, so it's a way for me to kind of fuse everything together.
So really, where does your true inspiration come from?
It comes from just reading and studying food, to be honest with you. That's where I get my most inspiration. If I find a good cookbook and you just look at the pictures, that just gets your blood flowing in your brain to create different ideas. Or I have an idea, let's say with swordfish over here, and I'm thinking of certain vegetables that are in season over here, and I try and see if they'll work. I've got a great group of guys who we went into business together, Tower Urban Family Farms. They grow all my tomatoes, a lot of my produce and vegetables here in town, and whatever they have, I'll try and take off their hands. And because it's amazing, first of all, and second of all, it's something that's local, which is we try and promote as much local as we can here in Fresno.
What's the feeling that you want people to leave when they leave Lila's after they've had a meal that you've prepared for them?
My best thing is just I want them to walk out of here with a smile and be content. Our goal here at the restaurant is to give you an experience to where you don't feel like you're in Fresno, where the ambiance, the music, the food all tie in well together, and it creates a nice evening for yourself and whoever you've come to dine with.
Tell me, what are we going to make today?
Well, right now we're going to start off with the filet right here, 8-ounce fillets. That's how I like to know. It gives it a good sear on the meat. So I can already see that it's kind of seared right there on the bottom.
Golden brown edges.
Yeah, so
right?
that's what we're looking at right there.
Oh, that looks delicious.
This one might be a little, you just want those edges. In my cooking, I want the flavors of the ingredients to carry themselves. I shouldn't have to doctor them up with a lot of things. So for me, it's more of salt, pepper, certain herbs and spices. And you just throw it in your oven at home, whatever temperature it goes up to the highest, that's all you need. So while that's in the oven, we have our traditional mashed potatoes. The only thing I did was I added a little garlic, salt, and pepper, and butter to it.
Yeah. This isn't food, this is art. The way you put this together, it looks just delicious. I'm gonna work my way up. I'm gonna work from the base, a little tomatillo, a little bit of the mashed potato. I'm gonna take off a little slice of that asparagus. It's fresh and clean. Wow.
Not bad.
Wow.
Not bad.
No, seriously, that's awesome.
Thank you.
It is just perfectly flavored. It's delicious. I can taste the garlic, but it's not overpowering. The seasoning is spot on, right on. I can only imagine what this little piece of steak tastes like. I'm ashamed to break it up. This is art. This is just incredible. I'm going to throw a little bit of potato on it too. Try that. That's perfection.
And then we're also going to do a swordfish. Nice. When it doesn't stick, when you try and touch it, it's ready to be flipped. This is a pineapple salsa that goes on top of the swordfish. All this is sour cream with a little lemon juice and salt and pepper.
There's always color. It's robust. It just looks delicious. Oh, that fish.
And last but not least, some deep fried corn tortilla chips.
Oh, delicious. I said, Manny, this is so flavorful, but I know you got one other secret recipe. You're not going to share it with us, but at least you're going to let us try it. Every great culture has great soup. Mexican cocido, the Chinese have a great soup with wonton, and so do the Colombians, right?
Absolutely. Ours is ajiaco. It's a traditional soup I've been eating since I was, as far as I can remember. And, I thought, what a better way to let people see it, but then for us too to enjoy it and try it together.
I can't wait. Let's try some of that.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
All you do is just kind of push it all in, mix it all in.
Okay.
Get all those flavors and dig in.
It's so good. You've prepared some of this amazing Colombian food. You know what? Let's go with Randy and see how some of the great South American wines will marry up to this great food that you made for us.
Sounds fantastic.
Thank you, Manny.
Thank you, Ray, very much.
Yeah, appreciate it. Randy Wenzel, who's the general manager and sommelier here at Layla's, and really the big thing in the culinary world right now is the pairing of wine and food. And Manny has made this delicious Colombian-inspired food, and we're going to go a little bit south of the continent to Chile to find some wine that's going to kind of complement those great dishes from Manny. This is the kind of wine you would pair with robust red meats, probably. Or,
most definitely.
Yeah, steaks and fillets and those kinds of things.
Yeah, this particular wine is a Carmenere Cab blend. Carmenere is one of the Bordeaux grapes that a lot of people forget. Really nice grape, really conducive for pairing with food.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things I love about coming to Layla's too, is when you get to experience Manny's cooking, and then you kind of bring that infusion of how to marry these. Because really, a good wine should not only complement the food, but it almost changes the flavor profile of the food, doesn't it?
It enhances it. Wine's a lot of things, and we all do this because of passion, whether it's the food or the wine. I'm certainly extremely passionate about the wine as well as the food, but wine's like really my big love. And it should really enhance the flavors of the food and enhance the whole experience. A lot of people focus on the taste, but there's so much more to it. There's texture, there's the structure, the weight of the wine, all of those things that play together with the flavors of the food.
So what should we do as a person coming into the restaurant, eating food, drinking wine? Should we experiment? Should we play around a little bit? What would you recommend we do to really enjoy a great culinary experience?
By all means. I think if you're looking to expand your palate in regards to wine and even food, one thing you can do is go into a restaurant and ask for the sommelier, ask for the wine steward. Lots of places call it different things, and ask for the recommendation.
Yeah.
And in a nice fine dining restaurant, even a server can give you a nice recommendation.
Okay.
Just have an open mind.
Right. You wouldn't be offended if we brought our own wine too, so you can guide us through that too, right?
Not at all. Not at all.
Great.
That's wine you're sharing with me, so
Yeah.
I enjoy that.
One of the most knowledgeable sommeliers in the Central Valley, Randy Wetzel at Layla's. Thank you, Randy. Coffee, many of us drink it every single day, and you cannot separate coffee from Colombia. Some of the best coffee beans are 100% Colombian. I'm at Cup of Joy in Old Town Clovis, where they serve Colombian coffee. Let's go see what they have brewing. We're not in Cali or Medellin, Colombia. We're in Old Town Clovis, where they're serving us some really distinctive Colombian coffee. I'm here with owner Zach Follig from Cup of Joy. Zach, you got it going on. You got the shirt, the Colombian hat.
Yeah, in honor of Colombia, I wanted to wear the shirt, the hat, and to really fit in. It's Colombian. They're known for their coffee, and they produce amazing coffee. And everyone knows like the Folgers Colombian coffee,
right.
But here at Cup of Joy, we take it to the next level of the quality and the interaction with the farmers. And we've actually teamed up with Victrola. I have some Colombian here. Victrola Coffee Roasters. They're out of Seattle. They know how to roast coffee best in the nation. So we leave it up to them. They have the personal relationship with the farmers in Colombia. They go down, they show them how to grow it, proper working conditions, and then they go and it's up to them to roast the product, because if you're not roasting it properly, you're not going to get the most out of the coffee. Coffee is a fruit, and there's flavors in fruit, and so it's an awesome science to see what goes into making a cup of coffee.
And it's really interesting. When you think about coffee, really, you talked about the relationship. It really is more than gathering, grabbing coffee. At your location, there's business being conducted. There's people building relationships. There's people getting to know each other. It's a larger experience, isn't it?
Oh, without question. And I think that's what makes Cup of Joy unique in a sense of just the atmosphere and the connection of why people come here. To me, it's not about the coffee. The coffee is something that we use as the median to bring people in here. And the mission of Cup of Joy is to love people. God's greatest commandments: love God, love people. And so we serve and love God, but we also love His children that He's brought in here. I was a football player. I knew nothing about coffee or business, but once I was done playing football, he said, open a coffee shop to connect to your community, and this is why we have Cup of Joy.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you, how does a guy who plays for Clovis High, Cal Berkeley, a Golden Bear, becomes a Detroit Lion, suddenly, start a coffee shop?
Right. It all started once I got injured playing for Detroit. Like I said, all I've ever known was football, and once that was taken away from me, my faith in the Lord really elevated, because it's like, God, now what? You have me free to do whatever you want. And he led me on a mission trip to England, and I'm sitting in a coffee shop very similar to this one, reading the Word, Romans 8, life by the Spirit, filled up with joy, drinking this cappuccino, the best cappuccino I've ever had. And I'm like, man, this is a cup of joy. And as I said that, the Holy Spirit just kind of said, look around this coffee shop, people, and we can look around this one, people connect over coffee.
Yeah.
He said, so go to your hometown, open a coffee shop, connect to your community. And that's why we're bringing in the finest beans, the finest product, because if I want to connect to them, I got to provide a good product to bring them in the door. So we provide the best product possible in order to get that communication with the community.
Yeah, most of us, I'm a little bit older than you are, we have our relationship to coffee, Colombian coffee, really through Juan Valdez and the Folgers commercial. But this is a really whole different coffee experience. Tell us a little bit about what makes Colombian coffee so uniquely different than coffee from different parts of the world.
Right. Every coffee has a different taste of just where it's located in the world, as far as the where the equator's at and the elevation of where it's grown. There's so many different variables. So Colombia is one of those places where it produces a great bean and a good crop of coffee, and then from there it comes down to the roasters, and that's very important, because you can get good coffee, but if it's over roasted, all coffee is going to kind of taste the same, that kind of burnt charcoal. But what these growers in Victrola have done is they've teamed up with producing the best crop, but then also finding out the science of how to roast it to perfection. And then once we get it in a bag. Now it's up to us, the baristas, to what the farmers work so hard to produce this crop. Then the roasters do what they do, and the thousands of dollars of machines that they do to roast it, it's up to us to extract it perfectly to give it to the consumer. So, I mean, we don't, in America, we don't see the production that goes around, the hand-picked bean that goes and is washed, and how it is served to them. It's amazing.
If you had one day left on this great earth, what cup of coffee would you have?
Oh man, I would have this pour over right now. I mean, this is no joke. Our Colombian, we do different pour overs. We have different types of roasters too. That's what's awesome about not being my own roaster. I just open a coffee shop and I can bring in different roasters from all over the world and serve their coffee. And so we have Verve, Victrola, we've done some Blue Bottle, we've done Ritual, all different types of coffee that bring in. And right now this Colombia, and there's a Panama right now that is just fruity, delicious coffee.
Now explain the pour over. That's a really unique process. It's a little bit different in terms of how you're brewing an individual cup of coffee that you're pouring it over, right?
Yeah, so that's part of the care that we put in. And if you do it through a machine, that's what everyone's used to drinking coffee out of a machine. A pour over is a handcrafted cup of coffee where when you order it, we have a pre-weighed jar of 28 grams that's perfect for a 12-ounce cup of coffee. We grind it fresh, we pour it into a what they call a Melita extractor, and then we just introduce hot water over it. Let it bloom, let the aroma come, and it takes about 4 minutes to brew a cup of coffee, but as we know, in an impatient society, if you have patience for that, you're getting a high, great quality product.
That's really interesting. And why Cup of Joy in Clovis? And tell me a little bit about when people come here and feel this really amazing vibe that you've got going on in Old Town Clovis. What do you want them to leave with? You know, the experience of drinking coffee in this wonderful location. What do you want people to walk away from when they come here?
I mean, I really do want, as corny as it may sound because of the name, but a joy, because joy is real. And the Father in heaven is where true joy comes from, and that's why I decided to put a cup of coffee on the throne, because that's where joy comes from. And people, and no joke, like I wasn't always a religious person, but once God has come into my life, like I've seen so many people testify from the feeling of peace, of comfort, of joy that they get when they come in here.
That's fantastic. You've got so many different varieties of coffee. I see them on this breadboard. What are your signature coffees? If you could say, we've got these three or four are just the most amazing coffees that we serve here and brew here. What would they be?
Man, I would say so. As a coffee purist now that I've become, I go with a pour over or a cappuccino or espresso. Like if I'm here every day drinking coffee, I cut out all the sugar and all the milk and all of that stuff. But what I realized is that, okay, I'm opening a coffee shop in Clovis. All we've ever known is Starbucks. And Starbucks is known for the fluffy, fruity drinks with all the sugar. So we created a cup of joy. It's 2 shots of espresso, half a pump of dark chocolate, and creme brulee infused milk. And man, it drives people wild.
Yeah.
They love it. It's a delicious, comforting drink. And but me personally, I stick with the pour-overs and black coffee. So it's nice to be able to have a place finally that can offer the high quality product of coffee at a respectable level, because we do, and we buy the machines and we do the proper training to make sure that's done correct.
Yeah, you know, and I've never come in here when it's not busy.
Right.
I mean, the community is embracing this
Right.
coffee shop, isn't it? And is it tough being in Old Town Clovis, competing against those big coffee houses like, Starbucks and
Right.
those folks? I mean, has it been
I
an
think
interesting challenge?
I think we're so different that Starbucks isn't even really competing with us,
Right.
you know. And what thing is beautiful about Cup of Joy is because of the service that we provide and the coffee we provide, it brings in a great customer. We have amazing customers that come in here, and so we've been really fortunate. I love being in Old Town. I went to Clark down the street, and so never did I imagine that I'd be back here in Old Town after all the places my life has taken me playing football. But I'm so glad I'm back here, and I want to open up another business somewhere. But this shop is running well, got great staff to man it, and hopefully we can get another shop up one day.
It's just awesome to meet you. We're proud of you, what you've done with your athletic accomplishments, but more proud of what you've done here, bring a little taste of Colombia to Old Town Clovis.
Amen. I'm glad I could. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You bet.
Richard Juarez, who is the founder of Timbao, is here with me in downtown Fresno in front of this fantastic mural, and it is a perfect setting for what we're doing with salsaing and everything. Tell me a little bit about Timbao. How did it get started?
It's actually, a group of friends. I got some guys together, and pretty much we're all just really good friends. We wanted to play Latin music locally, and we wanted to do it on a regular basis. We have a lot of salsa bands that come through from the Bay Area, our Bay Area cousins, and we're like, wouldn't it be great to have a local salsa band, one of our own salsa bands? So I put these guys together. They're all really good friends of mine, and together we have some great energy, and we just pretty much make a party every single time we play.
So there is a sound of Colombia with it.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Well, all Latin music, especially salsa music, I mean, there's Colombia, and Colombia, there's different patterns that we use that really give it that energy and that push that everybody just loves.
So is this part of the Colombian culture of just, here we are in an urban setting, and people are just coming out and having fun. Is that typically what you get?
Definitely, yeah. The way it pretty much works with Colombia and Latin America is that food is vital. Our culture is pretty much food. Food, dancing, and music. It's one of the things, no matter how far we go back in our culture, hundreds of years, there's food, music, and dance. It's always like that. And it's pretty much one of those things where if you go to a party, they're gonna have great food spread. We're gonna have some really good music. And by the end of the night, there's gonna be a conga out, there's gonna be maybe a piano out, and people are gonna be singing. From the ages of 4 or 5 years old, we get it, to when we're older, it's something that's embedded in us. Colombian music and Latin music in general, our culture is music and food. And with good music, there's good food.
How can anyone not love it? I'm sure when you play, and where do you play? What all do you do?
We play up and down pretty much the valley. We're traveling outside the valley a lot more now too, but we play local clubs here, weddings, a lot of corporate events, anything to where they want actually people to dance the whole time. That's where pretty much we get involved.
And I get that, because you can't help but dance when you hear that music.
Definitely. Yeah.
Well, you know what? I'm ready to keep going, so.
So are we.
All right.
Definitely.
Let's hit it.
The California Health Collaborative is committed to enhancing the quality of life and health for the people of California. The collaborative implements an array of programs focused on health promotion, disease prevention, and public health surveillance systems. The California Health Collaborative, building partnerships, promoting wellness, and changing lives.
The law offices of Philip M. Flanagan, specializing in providing guidance and direction in the areas of estate planning, elder law, probate, trust management, and life care planning. Proud supporter of Dine Out Sabor. Visit our website or call for more information.
Murata Produce is a proud supporter of local businesses, a family-owned grower, packer, and shipper of cherries, walnuts, onions, and bell peppers. Murata Produce is headquartered in the fertile San Joaquin Valley. Owned by the Fopiana family, their farming traditions date back to the California Gold Rush. Murata Produce proudly supports Dine Out Sabor.